Same way they can be
I'd take Hugh Hefner over him.
I would take 6 Hugh Hefners over Flavor Flav. Gross. He's probably like 4'6". He's little.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And just nasty.
Flav?
Yeah.
With the helmet.
The Viking helmet and the huge
and the clock. And he has tons of kids.
Does he really?
Tons of baby mamas.
I did not know
He's
that.
got a lot of kids.
Yeah.
Does he have anyone that Bridget Nielsen? Mm-hmm.
Oh, no, I don't
think so.
No. That'd be one interesting looking kid.
Definitely.
Oh. They're both disgusting. Ugh.
Oh, man.
Oh, yeah, that's all I have for Flavor Flav.
You got anything else?
Back in the spotlight.
I do have something else. Angelina Jolie.
Yeah, I read about
I don't know if you know, but she has the tattoos, the 6 tattoos on her arm of the map coordinates of where her children were born.
That was so stupid.
Well, she was just spotted with a 7th coordinate tattoo, which is bringing up speculation that she might have adopted another child. Obviously, she's been enough in the spotlight lately that we know she wasn't pregnant. But the only number they could really see was 35, which is mapped out somewhere in Algeria. So
what do we mean by coordinates here?
it's the coordinates,
North,
latitude, latitude and longitude of where that child was born. So she's got one for all of her 6 kids.
That's
And
way
then-
too many kids.
Yeah.
How do they have time to take care of all those kids when they're both in movies all the time?
I have no idea.
Nannies?
Nanny.
That's
But you
so
always see
stupid.
pictures of them out and about
Well,
with
what's Brad Pitt been in lately?
I'll let him be in me.
Benjamin Button.
Yeah, exactly.
That
A couple
was
years
about it.
ago.
That was not so dude.
Pretty much nothing.
Oh, he was in Megamind.
Oh, that cartoon
was?
movie. He was the superhero voice. Yeah.
Was he? I can't remember.
Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
Well, anyway, we have to take a short break, so we will be right back after this PSA.
Image in the galaxy than that of a nebula. But what is a nebula? The most general definition of the term is a cloud of interstellar gas and dust. But it turns out that there are several different types. Emission nebula actually emit colored light. These nebula are neat because they are often birthing grounds for new stars. The opposite of an emission nebula is a planetary nebula. Here, stars are in the process of dying and are losing layer after layer of gas to the interstellar winds. Even more dramatic are supernova remnants. These are stars that didn't wait to die. They blew up. A nuclear reaction to the core of the star causes the whole thing to implode on itself. The gases get superheated and explode outward to create these stunning displays. Reflection nebula are a completely different story. These formations are made up of dust clouds that are fine enough to reflect starlight. Perhaps the most striking nebula are dark nebulas. Dark nebula are clouds of dust and rock and interstellar junk that block the light behind them. The heavens are filled with entrancing images like these. We've only begun to scratch the surface of what else is out there amongst the stars.
And welcome back to Afternoon Delight. I'm going to start off with another news story about the NCAA Championship game last night.
What a hot mess.
It was a sloppy game, in my opinion. But, UConn Huskies took home the championship trophy, if you want to say that. But apparently, the NCAA filled the student section with a bunch of random college students from Houston because they didn't want to have a lack thereof student section. They didn't want an empty student section. So they were offered the UConn students tickets, but because a lot of them couldn't travel to Houston, they gave out tickets to the Houston area kids, or area college kids.
And told them to cheer for UConn.
Pretty
Must
much.
be nice.
And they said they interviewed some of the kids from Houston and said that they were Butler fans, but they didn't want to go against the crowd. So there was a lot of cheering for the other team.
I live to go against the crowd. That is my favorite part of sporting events, is just making people mad.
But
Fights.
I could not do that. I mean, that'd be awesome to get the opportunity to go for free, but to cheer on UConn.
I don't know if they got to go for free. They might have
Oh.
had to pay, but it was probably hey, we have a few tickets.
That was the worst game ever.
wasn't
Hands
bad.
down
It was
in
like
the history
watching
of
high
college
school girls
basketball.
basketball.
No, that was
Yeah.
the worst game ever.
I can't say anything
Constantly.
on it because I don't follow college.
And
But it
if-
was like
Well, they
watching
could've-
the 4-year-old like roll all over the ground to get the ball, and nobody was shooting. Like they couldn't make buddy shots. I'm like, isn't that the
Shot
first?
19%.
Yeah, isn't that the first thing you learn when you?
19%. That is so
I feel
embarrassing.
bad for Butler 2 years in a row when they get sent home
Yeah,
packing. And
that would
UConn, ugh. I'm not even
I'm
gonna
done
get
with UConn. Like they
Ugh.
win
UConn girls.
every. UConn girls.
My more.
gross. Ew.
Didn't they win like 90 straight?
92 straight games.
92.
Whatever, I still don't like
There's
them.
something in the water up there. That's my opinion.
We should move. Be ballers.
Hi. Move to Connecticut.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sounds good. We'll start packing.
All right. Well, switching gears then a little bit, something I can talk about. A New York City councilman is planning to introduce a legislation to ban Happy Meals.
What?
Yep. Leroy Comrie of Queens says the proposed bill would make it illegal to distribute toys, games, trading cards, or admission tickets along with any meal for children unless they have less than 500 calories, 600 milligrams of sodium, and 35% of calories from fat, excluding nuts, seeds, and nut butters.
Oh, come on.
So mine's
Nut
technically
butter?
about a Nazi as well.
So you're going to take out the toy.
Well, okay, they're not going to ban it completely unless they come to these standards, but they better go to these standards because how sad would you be if they just banned Happy Meals?
They would just be called.
So
be
wait,
such a
it
sad
has
child.
it has to meet those like health requirements
to meet
first.
these health requirements,
How many
yeah.
calories?
It has to have less than 500 calories, less than 600 milligrams of sodium, and 35% of calories from fat, like less than 35% of calories from fat, excluding nuts, seeds, and nut butters.
Will this be just in New York City?
I'm not sure.
Nothing at McDonald's
Probably.
has
And
that
I think
little
it's just
calories.
a New York City.
Even
I
a
don't think it's
Happy
New York
Meal,
City.
you only get like 4 chicken nuggets.
Right. I mean, I
So
can
then
kind of
if there's-
understand where he's coming from with like the whole obesity epidemic, especially with younger kids right now.
But if you take out the toy, they're just going to get a bigger meal.
Right.
Fatter.
Right.
They're just gonna order, like you mean they'll order something else on the menu that's.
Or they're just going to
That's
like a
big.
value meal or something.
Yeah.
There's no toy.
Right.
Plus, they have all of those. Okay, why can't we blame it on the parents? Get your kid something that's healthy.
Yeah.
First
Or
of all,
sure,
they have
take
the
them-
options of getting like the apples or whatever. Like,
Yeah.
do that.
Milk.
Yeah.
Mom
just
and dad.
go run them around for a while. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you know what I
Put
mean?
those kids on the treadmill.
My kids got fat off of McDonald's. Well, go run them outside a little
You're
bit.
the one
Like,
ordering
why
and
you-
paying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't take
Make
them to
a
McDonald's
salad.
all the time. I don't even have this appearance. And I don't.
Obscene.
Obscene.
And absurd.
Yeah.
Well, that's that.
Well, this is a fun one. A Holocaust awareness group wants a bakery near Vienna to be prosecuted for showcasing Nazi-themed pastries. The bakery has photos of cakes decorated with swastikas, an arm raised in a Hitler salute, and other Nazi symbols. The owner said that if it's requested, they make it. And the pictures were 8 years old. However, Austrian law bans the glorification of the Nazi era and any attempt to diminish, deny, or justify the Holocaust. So basically, they're just in like a book of stuff
Okay.
that's been made. It's not like they have all these
Oh.
swastikas in the
In the display case.
yeah.
And then people can
But
ask for them.
So, but there were pictures of them in this book.
Mhm.
Who does that?
Well, we're gonna take a quick look at this PSA and be right back.
Wise words are easily associated with one place, Hollywood. Hollywood has come to symbolize cinema in the United States, but why? Hollywood in the year 1900 was only one tiny village. How did it end up as the movie capital of the world? The answer is simple, the weather. Back in the early days of cinema, cameras were rudimentary at best. They only operated well in places with plenty of light because the early black and white cameras had a hard time distinguishing between subjects. Movies usually had to be shot outside, even interior sets were often open air, to let the sun provide free light. Filmmakers had to find a place that would be sunny regularly enough so they could work uninterrupted. In 1910, a director named D.W. Griffith headed to the California coast and found the then sleepy town of Hollywood. He set up shop and started cranking out productions. Only a year later, in 1911, the first studio was set up in the town, and by 1920, Southern California was the center of the U.S. film industry.
Hey, welcome back. So we want to keep talking about Nazis, if you don't mind.
Because I just find this interesting. That
Well, the thing is, like they say, I mean, if someone asks you to make something, you have to make it. I mean, you don't have to, I guess, but the law actually bans any kind of glorification of Nazi
so
stuff,
is
so-
the bakery getting in any trouble for this?
Not yet, but this Holocaust awareness group is urging
Their
action
brains.
to be taken.
We need to stop the hate up in this place. I mean, really.
No, really.
And also, it's not like this is here, it's Austria. Like, it's a lot
Right.
closer to...
Yeah.
Right, it hits home.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just don't
And
understand.
what year is it?
So long. Exactly.
2011? Come on.
Like,
people.
and you said it was like 8 years ago?
It was
or
8 years ago.
But that's still, like,
So maybe it's not the best idea for them to keep them in the
3.
photo album.
the Holocaust ended a long
Right.
time ago.
I kind of want to see them. I wish there was pictures.
Little
Oh,
cupcake.
Hitler salute
yeah.
cakes.
Or like a little
Ridiculous.
cupcake with this.
Not to
I
be
don't
insensitive, but it's kind of funny.
I don't know. That's weird though that
Yeah, I wonder who orders that.
a Nazi.
Yeah, I mean, like, isn't that awkward to just go in there and be like,
Can I have a swastika?
I need a bunch of
cupcake?
swastika cakes.
Yeah.
What can you
Birthday
get-
party this weekend.
What kind of Nazi-themed pastries can you make me?
It's probably like Prince Harry. Didn't Prince Harry get caught wearing a Hitler Nazi uniform?
Did he?
He's probably buying all
She
the
probably went over to
cupcakes.
Austria to do this.
Yeah.
Sure, that
I bet you.
went over well. So yeah, Nazis. Crazy Nazis.
Well, a police sergeant in Brookline, New Hampshire was fired for using the department's funds to buy personal items such as Ugg slippers. Sergeant Michael Kirkland said he was reimbursing himself for out-of-pocket expenses for the town's DARE program. First of all, I would admit,
awesome.
if I got caught buying personal items, I'd at least say it was something else besides
Ugg
Ugg slippers. I'd be like,
Man.
They're
what?
expensive.
Those were for the wife, obviously.
Yeah.
No, he can completely confessed. Like, yep, I was just buying some Uggs,
Yep. I feel really good on my feet.
some slippers.
So he said he bought stuff for the DARE program with his own
He
money.
was
and then
he was
reimbursing
reimbursing himself out of like the department's funds or something.
Hmm.
But he's been on. I don't know. He said he was on like paid leave since December, but still had to do some online shopping.
Ugg slippers.
Naturally.
Yeah.
Where is he from? New Hampshire.
New Hampshire, yes.
Well, it does get cold.
Did he get to keep them?
You need some
I don't know. Sir, we're gonna have to ask you to
Confiscate.
return those.
It's not a very masculine purchase.
Oh.
Out of all the things they could have found him buying,
Uggs.
slippers.
Probably got like a nice bathrobe too, and
Yeah.
a little
Bath
camper
salts.
set. Yeah.
Salts.
I mean, I guess it's alright. I mean, slippers, I guess, are a little bit better than like the actual boot. But
I would hope no straight man would ever purchase anything.
I wonder if it had like
Ugg.
the fur on
The only
outside.
person I've ever seen is on I Love You Man. And that guy wears his Ugg boots with his shorts.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah. Oh. Good movie.
It's very interesting. Never seen such a thing on a man. Anyways, whatever.
Anyways.
Don't do it, boys. You look stupid.
All right, moving on. Southwest Airlines. They had a scary little flight going on en route from Phoenix to Sacramento and was diverted to a military base in Arizona when, after a section of the plane's fuselage ripped open, depressurizing the plane, exposing the sky to passengers. This is why I'm nervous to fly.
It's not like what happened on Lost.
I
Like the
don't know.
roof came off.
But, like, they have a picture.
And they thought that, sorry.
Yeah, no, that's fine. They have a picture of, like, there's a hole in the ceiling of the plane. And,
Yeah.
like, people were, like, freaking out. But they said for, like, considering, people stayed relatively
so
calm.
what happened? I mean, did it go down?
It was just,
then,
like,
or,
it was a bad
They
structure.
Yeah.
Well, they just emergency landed, and so they landed fine. And then they've been inspecting 90% of their 737 planes, and so they had to fix 5 of them out of, like, the 90% of their
They
planes.
said because of like passengers wearing seatbelts and like the safe level of elevation that
Nothing
that's how
flew
nobody
out.
flew out of the
well,
plane.
good riddance.
Good
Well,
riddance.
that's all the time we have for today. I just want to say really fast, drag show, April 8th, 7 p.m. Valhalla,
there
you
at
should
Bay
go.
Square.
It's amazing.
There's a hate rally tomorrow too at 4 p.m. at the Clock Tower. Woo!
Peace and blessings.
Peace and
And
blessings.
We can banter to each other now since she got mad at us for staring at the credits last year.
I feel like that went by really
Yeah,
fast.
it did.
Yeah,
All of
like
a sudden-
insanely fast.
The first
So,
part of
I
it
don't
went
know.
by so
Are we
slow.
still live?